Welcome to Smackey's Garage. Today, we're going to be replacing some of the weather stripping on the window. When you're looking at purchasing parts to do a restoration, you can see parts from cheap all the way to very expensive. And one of the things that's not really clear in the cheap versus the very expensive is what is actually different. One of the things that I noticed while doing this window and this window felt is I bought some cheap weather stripping, and it's the correct one for the car, but it's different than the one that when you buy the higher end one, and I'm starting to see some issues with it because I bought the cheaper one. So we're gonna walk through what I've seen and why I'm replacing it. So the first thing to know when you're starting to look at this trim is it's not straight all the way up and down the window. So it's kind of like it's lost its shape. It really shouldn't, because it's supposed to be held flat there against the window, which is a problem. I don't remember how this came in the packaging, but this is not the way that it should be shipped or it should be installed. One of the things that I started to notice is that when I'm actually moving the window up, it's starting to catch on this metal trim here. So as I move this up, you can see the window is here, because if I put it down any further, this little piece of metal will catch here and pull it up. And it's actually pulled the tabs out of this, and it's caused me to have to do some touch-up paint on this, on the door itself. So when this goes down and then back up, it's actually pulling the entire weather stripping out with it. So what I'm going to do is we're actually going to take this weather stripping out and replace it. Now the weather stripping is held in by these pins. They should just be able to pull out. You can see some of the chip there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull out each one of these tabs all the way down. So I have the window down far enough where it's not making any contact with it, or much contact with it, so I should just be able to pull them out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now I'm going to see if I can avoid using any sort of tool here, because I don't want to damage this anymore. Got all but one. Now, the only reason why I'm cutting this is because I don't want these to damage as I'm pulling this out. So you don't need to do that. I'm just doing it to be safe. So rather than come out, it actually broke, which is okay, because if it breaks, then I can take it out piece by piece. All right, so why don't we do a side-by-side comparison of a good part to the part that's in there now. So I have these parts from original Repops, automotive reproductions. We're gonna take a look at the difference between this part and the part we're gonna be replacing it with. So the first thing we're gonna note is it's completely flat. It's not like the other one where there's, where it's wavy. They look very similar, but the one thing that I notice is on this end, there's actually a little black piece here, which I believe is so that the window can hit here and that metal piece won't rip up. So we're going to install this piece, which looks to be better quality than the other one. The clips look to be better. And then we're going to see how well it does on the door. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start putting it in, but I'm thinking, I don't know if this is original or not, but it looks like it's gonna help with the issue that I've been having. So it'll make it a little bit better. It doesn't look like it clips anywhere, but it might just hook on. We'll see. This one had a clip here. This one does not, which is, we're gonna see how that does. And then that should be it. So it's definitely a different grade of rubber when you look at them. This one's definitely a better grade. I mean, the car has never been left outside, so this shouldn't be that degraded or that worn. Another thing that's interesting to note on these two is you can see on the old one, the clips were centered, where on the newer one, the clips are at more offset to the top. So what this is going to do, it's going to push the window weather stripping down further. So let's go ahead and replace them. Now before we put this back together, I'm going to use some touch-up paint and a Q-tip and clean up this area. Okay, so to put these in, we just have to place these clips in the holes on the door, and then we should just be able to push them in. They should hold themselves in. We just need to make sure that they're going in flat and are not kind of sideways. All right, so we can see the holes. They are all along the top of the door. So we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna push it in. So I don't actually think this piece here is original. I think it's just added for these. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna try it out for a little while. We'll see how well it does. I'm gonna see if I can get everything to line up. So while doing this, I'm running into an issue where the top of the glass is probably right in the way. So I'm going to use these pieces of plastic to help guide it. All right, so we got this one on and it came out well. So what I noticed when I was doing this is when I was putting this on and trying to get everything lined up, the biggest item that I noticed was the window was actually not in the right position. So I was able to swap the window into the right position by these and pull it in so that it comes out. I might need to raise the window a tiny bit for the bumper. See, so it's all the way down now, up. You can see it's not catching down there anymore. And then this is all in, and it's all being held in the right place. So we're good. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna swap over the other side too. Now you can see this is a lot better than kind of where we were before getting caught. One thing to note is how much more straight this is throughout the entire length. And that is not, there's some play in it and some movement, but it's not getting caught like it was before. So that little plastic piece is helping. So window all the way down, window comes up. Perfect, nothing is coming out. So with the new piece in, you can see it's so much better. It's lined up great. Now for the other piece, we're not going to do it today, but so this piece here is held in on the other side to the door. It's held in by staples, which come with the kit that we purchased. So if you can do the other side, all you really have to do is you have to take this and then you staple it in place. You take the staples, everything is already pre-drilled. So you just take this, you put the staples through, and then you twist them using needle nose pliers. Now for me, I don't need to use those right now because the insides are fine. It's just the outsides that I'm gonna end up replacing on this car. Thanks for tuning in this week on Smackey's Garage. Got the weather stripping fixed. You know, the windows are finally moving. Nothing is scratched as it was before, so we fixed it with a touch-up paint. I'll see you next week.